Hey friends, how's it going? Ash here, welcome back to Gents. Hope you're doing well. It's time for another Elixir first impression. As you well know, fragrance elixirs are pretty much taking over the world as far as men's fragrances go at this point. Sauvage Elixir came out and blew up, and basically every single other fragrance brand was like, we gotta get one of them elixirs. You heard of people talking. They've been talking about that elixir, and it's been selling, man. It's been making money. We gotta get one, dude. I'm like 99% sure that's how the conversations went. I'm pretty certain. So now everybody has an elixir. Everybody wants an elixir. So yeah, we're talking another elixir, a new elixir. This one is from Ralph Lauren, and it is Ralph's Club Elixir. I've got this one linked in the description along with the original Ralph's Club and also the Parfum edition. Feel free to check them out down there. And you know, heck with it, man. I'll just list some other elixirs. If you would like some codes that don't have anything to do with elixirs, but they do have to do with saving money at different fragrance websites, pause the video, here's some codes. Use those codes, save some money at those websites. So before we got to this one, Ralph's Club Elixir, we had Ralph's Club Eau de Parfum, the original. Then we had Ralph's Club Parfum, which of course after these two brought us to present day Elixir. They just skipped the Eau de Toilette. Eau de Parfum, Parfum, Elixir. So maybe after Elixir, they do Ralph's Club Eau de Toilette, make a fresher version. I mean, why not? That's what everybody else is doing. We'll sit these guys off to the side for now. We're gonna check out the presentation of Ralph's Club Elixir here in just 1 second, but first off, let's talk pricing. I bought this from Macy's. It was $140 US for a 75 ml size bottle. So just a great deal, just a rip-roaring deal there. The Parfum edition, you can get a 100 ml size bottle of that also for $140. And then the Eau de Parfum is a little bit cheaper, as you would expect. As with all things, prices going up. Designer fragrances quite a bit more expensive now than they used to be, and each elixir, is like the most expensive of their particular line. So let's go ahead and take a look at the presentation really quickly and then start talking about this fragrance right here and whether it's worth it or not. So here is the box. You have the name of the fragrance, name of the house, size and concentration right there on the front. This is a 75 ml size bottle. So keeping in the sort of Sauvage Elixir tradition, the bottle size, a bit smaller, at least compared to the 100 ml size bottle that most people would consider the standard size of the other iterations in the line. Although it really kind of splits the difference, doesn't it? A little bigger than 50 ml, a little smaller than 100 ml. It has RL Elixir up top, which actually, for whatever reason, makes me think of R.L. Stine. Anybody out there Goosebumps fans? If you are, we're in the same boat. I say that like I'm still a huge Goosebumps fan. I used to be. On the side, you have a little information about how it's a refillable bottle. Most new fragrances coming out nowadays have that feature where you can refill them. On the back, you have the ingredient information. You've got your barcode. On the bottom, your badge code. Mine is 22X41YU. And here is the bottle. So you have this little sort of like sticker on the front there, like sticker plaque that says Ralph's Club. You have Elixir at the bottom. It is an absolute fingerprint magnet. Like, this thing just gets fingerprinted up to death. So if you want to keep it looking nice, you got to get yourself a little cloth and shine it up after every single time you spray it on. Other than that, it's the same style as the other Ralph's Club fragrances, other than up top. On the other bottles, you can see where it says Ralph's Club and Ralph Lauren. Right here, kind of a separate section that goes over top the glass. The Elixir bottle does not have that, but it does have the same cap style, which I do like. I actually think these are pretty cool. Then on the bottom, you have a sticker with your badge code. You know what time it is, time to spray it out. And it does say RL once again on top of the atomizer. Here we go. Pretty nice atomizer. Just kind of sit these all right here looking nice. So Ralph's Club, this is a fragrance line made for people who are looking for something very versatile, something easy to wear, kind of a blue fragrance-esque type of scent. Even though the bottles aren't blue, it still does the same thing, does the same job as a blue fragrance would. It's made to be worn daytime, nighttime. It's made to be worn basically any season. It's made to be a compliment puller, easy-going type of fragrance, you know, all of those tropes. That's what this does. And when the first one came out, the first Ralph's Club, it got crapped on a pretty decent amount. A lot of people weren't digging that one, but I found myself really liking it, enjoying it a lot. And then the Parfum, I like that one too. And the Parfum does what you would expect. Kind of takes the original DNA, the original style, and makes it a little bit more grown up, a little bit less playful, a little more elegant, but keeps the same general idea. So both of these I like quite a bit. I gotta tell you, I did just get this in today, but I've worn it twice. I sprayed it on as soon as it came in, let it dry down, sprayed it on again. I'm really digging Elixir too. Now, when I saw the note breakdown for this one, obviously one of the things that jumped out at me was the Orris, or I think it's specifically Orris butter in the note breakdown here. And that iris scent profile, you pick that up right away, right off the top. And it's really interesting to me, actually. This one, not the same type of fragrance, doesn't smell like it, but it surprised me in the same way that Armani Code Parfum did. So Armani Code Parfum, I was expecting it to be very dark, heavy, mysterious, all of that, but then it has actually a decent freshness off the top, a decent fresh pop to it. With Elixir, I was expecting the fragrance to be heavier than the Parfum, darker than the Parfum. Again, more elegant, more grown up, and I was not expecting it to really have any kind of fresh pop. But when you do first spray this one on, it has a really nice fresh opening. Now, when I say fresh, I don't mean like summertime fresh. You know, it's not like an aquatic blast or anything like that, but it definitely has a prominent freshness off the top, mixing with iris. The iris is right there, right in the opening. It's a little bit makeup-y. It's not like full bore. It's more along the lines of something like a Dior Homme Eau. Not to say that this is, you know, super duper close to Dior Homme Eau, but if you've smelled Dior Homme Eau, which is unfortunately now discontinued, you know that it has that, or had, I guess, that iris that Dior Homme was really well known for, but freshened up. You know, a lot of that heaviness kind of stripped out of it, but it still had a bit of that makeup-y touch, just with fresher surrounding notes and with the iris tamped down a little bit, you know, not as thick and creamy. Yeah, that's actually kind of sounded weird. But Ralph's Club Elixir, it has something similar to that off the top. It does have two different citrus notes in there. You don't get a ton of citrus, but the way that it works together, the citrus there does impart a nice freshness with that iris. And the cardamom off the top is surprisingly more of a green cardamom instead of a very spicy, kind of deep, heavy cardamom. I think it smells great, really nice, very appealing opening. And that freshness kind of caught me off guard, but in a good way. As it dries down, you get a touch of incense, not a huge amount, but just a little bit, giving you kind of that touch of the evening to the fragrance, if that makes any sense at all. You also have a little woodiness in here, almost a kind of amber woody scent profile as you head into the dry down, which again, kind of brings it in line with these two here, but it's done in a way that's slightly darker. This is the first day that I've worn the fragrance, so I can't really like nail home the performance or anything like that, but it appears to be really good. It's got nice projection. I've been able to pick it up easily. It's lasted a long time. So no complaints there. It is pretty much what you would expect. It's an Elixir fragrance, so it does have that extra push, that extra pop to it. It does have good versatility, just like you would expect from the other ones in the line. It is more of like a spring, fall, and winter fragrance to me. I mean, you could pull it off in the summertime, especially if you're somewhere where it's air conditioned, but it's gonna be more of a spring, fall, winter for me. Daytime or nighttime, even though I'd say some people are gonna think it leans a little more toward the evening. I think either one. For me, the biggest difference with Elixir when compared to the other two is absolutely the opening in the mid. When that iris is coming through, it's a different fragrance. It stands clearly alone from these two, but then interestingly enough, once you move out of that phase, it does become, as I said before, what you would expect of a Ralph's Club Elixir. Stronger, a little bit darker, but still with that sexy complement factor that the others have. And for me, it's a great release. Love the way it smells. There's nothing that I can say that I dislike about it. Hyper unique, maybe not, because it is following along in these two fragrances' footsteps, but that's what you would expect of a flanker. For most people anyway, to keep it kind of in that same, scent profile, same DNA, but with some changes. And I love the iris that they've added, but I'm a sucker for iris. So if you don't enjoy iris, maybe it's not for you. But I do think that it's freshened up enough in the opening that it will appeal to more people, because it doesn't go as far as something like Dior Homme Intense, or even the original Dior Homme, or Valentino Uomo Intense, or Narciso Rodriguez, Blue Noir, Parfum. It's not taking it that far. Gentleman Eau de Parfum, it's not that heavy. It's more, like I said, Dior Homme Eau-ish, Gentleman Eau de Toilette Intense-ish. Not the same as those, but playing more in that ballpark with that type of fresher iris, like a blue iris, instead of heavy makeup iris, a dusty iris. So there we go, first impressions on Ralph Lauren, Ralph's Club, Elixir. Solid, really dig it. $140 for 75 mils, pretty expensive, so do try to test it first if you can. But if you love iris type fragrances and you want one that's gonna give you that blue fragrance vibe, check that out. Essentially, that's what you got here. Thank you guys for hanging with me. Stay safe out there, and I'll see you tomorrow, another fragrance video. See you guys later. This is my spirit animal.